وسيق الذين كفروا إلى جهنم زمرا حتى إذا جاءوها فتحت أبوابها وقال لهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم رسل منكم يتلون عليكم وينذرونكم لقاء يومكم هذا قالوا بلى ولكن حقت كلمة العذاب على الكافرين.
Imagine a child sitting alone at a small table. In front of this child is a single marshmallow. A researcher says you can eat this now, or if you wait a little while, I'll give you two. Then the adult leaves the room. Cameras record the struggle. Some children stare, fidget, sing, or look away. Others quickly grab the marshmallow and eat it. Many years later, researchers found out those who could wait often did better in school and had strong self control in different areas of life. This simple test became famous because it showed something deep about human beings. The ability to delay gratification, to say no to a smaller pleasure now for a greater reward later, is linked to success and stability in life. And if this is true for worldly goals like grades and careers, what about the greatest reward of all, the pleasure of Allah and the everlasting hereafter? Today, we live inside a world-sized marshmallow test. One tap gives you entertainment, another tap brings you food, and a few swipes can bring endless videos, messages, and stimulation. The message is repeated. Why wait? You can have it now or later. Islam, however, teaches us something very different. True discipline, true sabr, is not just about willpower or grind. It springs from certainty, yaqeen in what Allah has promised, conviction that is with Allah is better and more everlasting than anything you can get instantly in this life. When the heart is attached to the reward with Allah, patience stops feeling like deprivation and starts feeling like intelligent investment. We live in a time where almost everything is designed to be fast, easy, and addictive. Food can reach your house with a few taps, videos play automatically, short clips, endless scrolling, and notification constantly fights for your attention. Many apps are built to keep you hooked, not to help you grow. This environment trains the mind to always expect stimulation when you are used to switching between apps every few seconds. Sitting for 30 minutes with the Quran or even focusing in Salah can feel hard or boring. It's not that you are incapable of discipline. Your attention span is weakened by constant distraction. Convenience also gives a subtle message. You don't need to work harder. Things should come easy. Over time, this can destroy the ability to stick with long term difficult goals like memorizing the Quran, learning Arabic, building a career, or working on your marriage. So much of the discipline crisis today is not because Muslims are worse than before, but because the tools of distraction and instant gratification are more powerful, more available, and always in our pockets. If we are not intentional, our devices start shaping our hearts. In Islam, sabr is not passive. It isn't just putting up with things. Sabr is an active, conscious, and courageous quality that affects every part of life. Scholars mention three main forms of sabr: sabr in obedience, sabr in avoiding sin, sabr with Allah's decree. Sabr in obedience, being patient in doing what Allah commands, even when it's difficult. Waking up for Fajr, praying in the masjid, fasting, giving charity, lowering the gaze, and maintaining good character. Sabr in avoiding sin, holding yourself back when desires are strong, saying no to haram relationships, haram income, drugs, con, dishonest business, or any temptation that angers Allah. Sabr with Allah's decree, accepting and being content with what Allah chooses for you: illness, financial hardship, family difficulties, delays in marriage or work, deaths and losses. Discipline in Islam is not just about productivity, it is about living in a way that pleases Allah consistently. You might be extremely disciplined in your gym routine or business, but if there is no sabr in obedience, sabr in resisting sin, and sabr with Allah's decree, then the core of Islamic discipline is missing. A key point: sabr is not created simply by reading motivational books or watching self help videos. Those may not help, but the root of sabr is spiritual, having a heart that longs for what Allah has prepared and fears losing it. Why would someone say no to the pleasure that is right in front of them? Why would a believer turn away from an easy sin, a quick profit, or a tempting message? The answer is simple: because what Allah has is more real to them than what is in their hand. When a Muslim is deeply certain, absolutely convinced that they will stand before Allah on the day of judgment, that paradise and hell are true, that every choice counts, then temptation shrinks. In that moment, the believer asks, is this sin worth risking my meeting with Allah? Is this haram moment worth losing my place in Jannah? What will I say on the day of judgment if I choose this? The root cause of weak discipline is not just bad habits, it's a weak desire for what is with Allah. When the desire for the hereafter is weak, dunya looks huge. When the desire for Allah's pleasure is strong, dunya looks small. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes certain believers who became leaders only after developing two qualities: sabr and certainty in his signs. They live as though they could see the day of judgment right in front of their eyes. This vision guided every decision. So the real secret of discipline in Islam is not just routines and schedules. It is to constantly remember the meeting with Allah, to talk about Jannah and Jahannam, to recite and reflect on Quranic verses about the hereafter until they become vivid and alive in the heart.